Okay, today we are going to go over a couple of different topics, but all surrounding your listing. Okay, so again, this entire workshop is all around your listing, and I'm going to go through some topics at a higher level to get through the material, and there's going to be others where we're going to spend a little bit more time digging into it. And if you do get on and you have specific questions, we can take time for those questions as well. So the first thing I want to go over is, again, the focus is on the listing. So the first thing I want to go over is on the listing presentation. So not sure if you know, but we have a buyer's presentation and a listing presentation that is available for you to customize. Now keep in mind, the listing presentation and buyer's presentation is available through design. And so those of you that are just jumping on now, this topic is all about the listing. And you should be able to jump in and chat whenever you're available, or just unmute yourself, or just type something in the chat box and I'll look to monitor for that. But again, today is going to be all about the listing, all about the listing. And some topics I'm going to go into greater detail in. Others will be just a little bit high level. So the first one I want to go over is the listing package. Not sure if you realize we have a listing package that's available to you guys. And it's, let's go to designs. And the listing package is actually underneath the print section. Okay, it's under the print section. Okay, so these are designs that I've already created. So when you go to, and I'm going to have to move my screen a little bit. So as you go across the top here, just a quick tip. This is not where you start your designs. This is showing you which designs are created as an email template, as a landing page template, as a social ad template, print template, agent sites, and videos. So the listing presentation is going to be something that's printed, but where you need to go is here and click on the plus. Okay, now you'll see that I've already created a listing presentation, but I'm going to start fresh for you guys. So I'm going to click on plus here. And again, the listing presentation is something that is on the print side of designs. Okay, doesn't mean you have to print it, but print normally means it's going to come out on a sheet 8.5 by 11 in size. What's really nice about this is you could actually save this and it'll be like an online booklet, right? And I'll show you that in a minute as well. All right, so we're going to click print and next. Okay, and it'll open up command designs. And we're not going to go too deep into this because for now, I just want to show you where this is. All right, so then again, we're focusing on listings. We're going to click on listings, and then you have listing presentation. And they actually have two of them for you. And they both have the same content. It's just the design is a little bit different. So this one is more of a modern look and feel. It's got the black and white Keller Williams, and this one is more classic. All right. So you're just going to pick one of these. Just pick one. It doesn't matter which one because you can customize it. Now, when you click on them, I'm going to open up another session here. Designs, print, and I'm going to show you like what the end result's going to look like. Okay. So you'll see that it's got 24 some pages, and mine I could have truncated it out to make it fit a little bit better. But it's going to have these pages and the content, the verbiage. A lot of verbiage is already going to be there for you. But for example, you can customize it. So there's two recommendations here. One is to create a template listing presentation. And what I mean by that is one that you're going to use on the fly. meaning it's not going to be branded to the individual and not going to be branded to the property. Okay, so you're going to create one that's just branded to you and branded to Keller Williams and what you want to present, so that you're going to save that as a template so that 90% of the content is going to be the same and consistent. Your look and feel will be consistent throughout the entire process. So you're going to create one of those that's just a template with you, your profile, your information, your market center information, and all that good stuff, and have that one as your shell. And then you're going to create, if you want to, one-offs from there. And what I mean by if you want to is a lot of listing presentations, it's more about the brokerage. Like I've seen other brokerages listing presentation, and it's all about, from my perspective, just propaganda about the brokerage, right? It doesn't sell you so much as it does the brokerage. So what I'm suggesting is you create one that sells you and the brokerage, and you create that as a template. If you have time to customize it for the buyer, not the buyer, for the seller and the property, you can do that. So I'm just going to click on some of these pages here to see, right? So you can have, let me just expand this just a little bit. Right, so it just says listing presentation. And from the bottom, you can just click next, right? If you wanted to leave this blank, you can leave it blank. But what I mean is you can have the image, your brokerage information, and your information already pre-filled out, so that when you do have to create one of these, you could either use the blank one. And what I mean by blank is one branded already to you, not to the sellers here. Or you can easily come in, you're going to know that the seller information is added here. All right, so I'm just going to go through a couple of these because, and if you don't like a page, you can delete it. So for example, the CMA data is in here as well. Personally, I do a CMA, my market analysis, in a completely separate booklet. So I strip all of that out of my listing presentation here. All right. Now, these are pictures that I actually took of the property, subject property, so I can have something in there for the subject property. Otherwise, you can just have some generic photos in there, generic photos of Chicago, and still make that very relevant and useful for you. Okay. If you know the address, you'll be able to customize it. If not, just have a blank page. You can have something here that is very generic to Chicago without having it be so customized. Again, we're trying to save you some time here by creating a template listing presentation. All right, you can add a neighborhood, or you can just say Chicago, what's happening in Chicago. Okay, I think you're getting the gist of it now. Is you can pre-populate all this stuff, go through the process, go through every single page. If you don't like a page, remove it, right? You're not going to really lose any data. Obviously, you want to fill in some of this content in here, but there's like 24 pages, and you can add your own pages if you want to, right? So this is available to you, and it's in Command, designed under listing presentation. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you. That was the first thing I wanted to show you, is you can create your own listing presentation within Command. And let me go one more place here for you as well. I'm going to click on Done. And to find something that you just created, you can, again, sort it by the type of property. And this is the listing template. I want to show you one more thing. Sorry. I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to go back into this. So when it's done, you could download it. You could download as images, as PNG, as PDF, right? As PDF. So as a PDF, that's going to be something that you can print out, right? Also include. So you could change the settings here as well. So as a PDF, standard web quality. You can do the entire, you can do only a couple pages at a time. And then you just do download. Okay, now another thing I want to show you, so that would save it as a PDF file. Now this is better. This is a share. So this, if you're going to share this design, this will, let me copy and paste this. Let's say this was my finished product. This is something that you could then email to your client. And when you email it to them, again, you can clean it up a little bit, but basically it sends them something that they can use as a PDF file. Or not a PDF file, but where did that go? Actually, I want to share the entire project. Sorry, not just the design, but the project. So I'm going to click on this. Let's get ahead of myself there. All right, so this link here becomes kind of like a booklet, electronic booklet. So you can email this to them and they can watch it on whatever device they have. They just click on it, click on it, click on it, click on it, and click on it. This is a really cool feature. I want to make sure that you guys realize that it's there for you. So once you've created your booklet, it can be an online electronic digital page. It's not a huge file that you have to download and send to someone. And again, to get to that, you're in designs, you're doing the share, and you have to do it by project. If you do it by design, it's only gonna be that one page, and you saw that. You're gonna do by project, and you're gonna have this link here. That's what you don't wanna save. You can, if it was generic enough, save that in, as you see here, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, any questions on that before I move on? We could do a whole workshop just on the listing presentation if you want in the future.
So Joe, can you hear me?
Yes.
First step you need to do is the download. Is that what you said? To save?
To get to which file?
Before you do the link, project link, you first do the download or did you do the share? You know, but
I went to share. So the download is just to save it as a JPEG, PNG, or PDF. If you want,
you have to. I mean, you have to do that before you do the share, or no? Am I right or wrong?
You don't. You do this if you want to have something that is a JPEG, a PNG, or a PDF file. A PDF file you can send to a print shop and have them print out the booklet for you.
So, like you,
if you want hard copy or electronic copy, that's the difference.
What's that?
You either want hard copy or electronic copy.
But what you just showed is you could email them, you could share. Oh, because
if you want to share with them a PDF file, you would save it here. If you want to share with them a link, you click on share.
Oh, okay.
They're both the same. One's just a link that you can do electronically and looks like this booklet, which I really, really like.
I think I did the PDF as an attachment. I sent it to somebody, and I believe they can still flip through it like a book, the PDF version too. If they,
yeah, they can. However, that PDF file is probably going to be a 30 meg file.
Oh. Hmm. Okay.
Right? You email that to them, and it's going to be a huge ass file.
Oh. Okay.
And if it's too big for their email, they're going to be like, I don't want to open this on my phone. This they could open up on their phone, their tablet.
Okay. Okay.
Any size.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's what that one is. So I would suggest that you guys play around with that version of it. Okay. So the next thing, again, focusing on the listing. We did the listing presentation. So now we want to create a standalone landing page for your property. And what I mean by that, and we're going to go to consumer this time. So we were in designs, now we're going to go into consumer. And under consumer, you have landing pages. And a landing page is a standalone URL that you can send to someone that opens up a website. okay? The agent site pages, this is your personal website that has all the listings that people can search and all that other good stuff. So now you have a standalone landing page for your property. So I'm going to show you the end result first, right? So this is the end result. This is the new listing I put up, 1134 Granville. This is what it's going to look like. And I'm just going to open this in a new tab. And we're going to walk through this as well. All right, so this, again, is a URL that you can copy and paste, email, put on Facebook, put on Instagram, text it to someone. It's just a link. It does not have any size restrictions, so it's not like a huge file you're sending someone to download, right? So this is what people prefer to do. And then, so what we have here is a standalone landing page for this property, and you can brand it to yourself. You can pick and choose the photo you want to have highlighted. So for the MLS, you have to have the front exterior as the lead picture. Here, you don't have to. So in this case, I wanted to show that it's got lake views. So if I'm going to call it top floor with lake views, I better show some lake views as my primary photo. It pulls up the price from the MLS, the room sizes, or not the room sizes, the number of rooms, bedrooms. All this information is coming from the MLS, including the description here. And then it also will have all the other photos that are attached to that property. So any one of these photos I could have had as my primary photo up here. Okay, so this again is a standalone landing page. The other features that I like about it is you can brand it to a particular neighborhood. So in this case, this is Edgewater Beach area. So it highlights where this is in the map. And then it's got some statistics about that. Now, don't get too caught up on the statistics that they're right, they're wrong, whatever it is. I wish we could customize it, but right now we can't. But at a minimum, you've got something that changes from neighborhood to neighborhood and has some statistical information. And if someone challenges you on that, it's a great opportunity for you to open the door and talk to them about it. Okay. The other part I like is that it's got a widget that they can type in their information, and when they enter something here, it automatically goes into my command database. Okay, so first, the listing presentation. Second, the landing page that we are for that particular property. Okay, so how do you get to that? We're in landing pages, and again, we're going to click on new site. So let me see if I got one for 5818. So I've got another listing that came on, so I'm going to create a landing page for that. Start a new site. And where is it? It's either on my website. So no, that's not where I want it to go. As a standalone page. So that's what we want to do next. And create the page. I'm going to go kind of fast through this. Feel free to stop me if you have questions, but there is other stuff I want to get through. So the challenge is everyone starts out with a blank screen, and this is where they freeze out. They freeze up. They're like, I have no idea what to do with this. Right? This is a blank screen. I have absolutely no idea what to do with this. All right, so what do we do with this? Let's go back to the end result. All right, I think it's easier to show you the end result. So there's going to be something that looks like a header, something that looks like information from the MLS, something about a neighborhood, and then a widget that they could enter their information in. So we're just going to do very basic for now. So we're going to come here, and what are the widgets that are available? Header. We talked about the header. It's going to look like that. So we're going to pick, you're going to click on header, and you're going to drag and drop it. And you see the green line there? That's where it's going to drop on this template. All right. Before I get too far, I'm going to type in the property address, 5818, North Hermitage. Okay, and that's just naming it internally. No one sees this name except for me. All right, so don't worry about, does it need to say .com or whatever. It doesn't have to say any of that. This is just naming this template. All right, so here we have the branded header. Next thing would have been something about the property, the MLS data. All right, so we're looking for a widget that looks like it has listing information. There's one right there. This is listing. So we're going to drag and drop that one over. Now, pay attention to the green line, right? Wherever the green line is, that's where it's going to drop that widget information. We want it to be underneath header. So we want to make sure that it's underneath the header there. So it's below the header bar. And we're going to release it. All right. Now, don't worry about, it says Austin, Texas for now. People freak out. It's like, not in Austin. We haven't configured it yet. We haven't attached it to a listing. This is all just placeholder information. Okay, so let's go back to the live example. After that, we have neighborhood information. So let's go to which of these looks like it has neighborhood information.
Market Snap.
Market Snap. All right, awesome. So I'm just going to scroll down because I want to keep adding to the bottom, right? I keep on adding to the bottom. So I'm going to grab and drop Market Snap. And you saw the green line went to the bottom. I'm going to release it, scroll down, and here's my neighborhoods. Again, don't freak out that it says Austin, right? Just keep following along. We haven't configured anything yet. Okay, so now we're going to come back here. After the neighborhood, we have a contact me type informational lead generation, let's call lead generation widget. So we're going to come back here. And which one looks like it talks about lead generation? It's the one that says lead form. So we're going to grab and drop this below. You saw the green line. It was really quick. You want to go below the line, and it says interested, let's talk. All right. There's other bells and whistles we can go through on this, but for now, I just wanted to show you the basic constructs. You don't have to be a tech wizard to know what all these things are. There's a header, there's the listing information, there's a neighborhood snapshot, and then there's a lead form. That's really all you need to add in. However, let's see, I would recommend adding a footer as well. And I'm going to use legal footer for the footer. Let's see if that's the one I wanted. Again, the green line down there. Yeah, so the legal footer, it keeps you compliant. It's got the brokerage information in there. Okay. All right, so now we're going to configure the widget. So we added the widgets. Now we need to configure them. So I'm going to click on configure. And what you're looking for are the ones that have not been completely checked off yet, but we're going to go through each one. So we're going to click on the very first one, branded header. Branded header, what you're looking for are things with a red asterisk. Those are required fields. All right. Okay, so my client's, this property is by the West Andersonville area. There's going to be a new metro station opening up, and he's all about that metro station. So whatever I put in for the header, I'm just going to click Save and Apply. It's going to show up here, metro station opening soon. Okay, that's wherever you type here, this is where it's going to show up. So I'm going to say Great Andersonville home. Okay, you're limited to 30 characters, so you can't have a run-on sentence going on over here. The rest of this stuff should be pre-populating from your marketing information, so I didn't have to make any changes to any of these. You can, you don't have to. It should already be there.
Hey,
Okay,
Joe, quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is there a way to center that text in the header into the center of the page, or does it always have to go from the left?
In this particular one, it's always from the left. Let me see if I, because it's only 30 characters, so even if I added spaces, that's added spaces, it didn't do anything.
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure if there was a way that you center it. Okay, thanks.
Good question. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for paying attention.
John, the phone number. On
What's
the phone number, if you want to put like dots between, you know, those, is there a way to save that so you don't have to do it every single time?
Right now, it does not save that format.
Okay.
Okay, but you see it, you can change it, and it changed it up there. All right, so now I'm going to go to the next one, and this is the listing information. So now I'm going to click on Browse Listings because this listing is not in Austin, Texas. So you're going to start typing in the address, 5818 North Hermitage. I'm going to do search. And make sure you pick the right one. Interesting, looks like there's two of them here for me. With different, oh, wow, this could be interesting. I did have it as a PLN, so I'm wondering if that could have been the PLN. So I'm not going to touch this one because I know it's not the latest one. I'm going to select this one here. Plus it doesn't show any photos. All right, so keep in mind in the city of Chicago, if you're in a high-rise building, you could have multiple units, so make sure you pick the right one. You don't want to be promoting someone else's listing. Now, notice it didn't ask me if I was a listing agent. I could pick someone else's listing if I wanted to, but I would have to get permission to actually promote that listing. So if you don't have a listing yourself and you were doing an open house and you wanted to create a landing page for that open house, you can do that here. All right, so I'm going to click select. The other nice thing, just like similar to the standalone listing landing page, is you don't have to have the front exterior as your lead photo. All right, so let me just pick, just going to pick this one here. Unfortunately, it's small. You can pick your own if you have a preferred one as well. And that's all we're changing from there. So I'm going to click Save and Apply. And when you do that, all this should change. So this is the lead page, lead photo. And now you see the address, the price, that it's active, square footage, bedroom, bathroom count, about the property. And it's got all the photos in there as well. Right? If ever you did something and you didn't like it, you can click undo. Oh. All right, so next part is the neighborhood. So we're going to click on the next tab. It'll jump to the neighborhood. The header is not required. You don't have to have anything here. However, this is something that the seller really wants me to promote, the metro station coming soon. So the next tip is enter the zip code. When you do that, it'll adjust the neighborhood. So it'll only show me neighborhoods that are tied to that zip code. So I'm going to try, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's either West Andersonville or it's Edgewater West. So I'm just going to pick one, save and apply, and see where that takes me. All right, so now it's going to send me here, and it's actually north. It's north of Bryn Mawr, where I need it to be. So it's not West Andersonville. Let's try Edgewater West, save and apply. And you can see it's that easy to pick and choose whatever neighborhood. Okay, and it is actually that neighborhood. All right, again, we're just looking for things that have the red asterisk as required, mandatory. Obviously, you want it to be as accurate as possible. And we're going to save and apply this section and go to the next one. All right, so now we're at the interested, let's talk. Again, the only thing you're changing is the verbiage here if you want to change it. You don't have to change it. So this interested, let's talk, and says, contact me for a private tour. Okay, save and apply. And again, we're going to scroll all the way down, and it changed that. All right, we're going to go to the next widget. And this, again, this section is all about you. It should already be pre-filled if you completed your marketing profile. Again, you know, who was that? Bob and the phone number?
Mm.
That was your question, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Save and apply. Let's see if that took care of that. And it changed that there as well. All right, so save and apply. Now I can publish the landing page. Publish it. Okay, so now it brings me back here. Now I have a clickable URL that I can send to people, put on Facebook and all the good stuff. Now I did notice there was a glitch in there. I didn't want to focus on that glitch, so I'm gonna not use this one. But from here, all you have to do is click on it and it would open up, and this is your URL for this particular property. Okay. You could then send this to people in your database. So in terms of an open house, the only difference between, from my perspective, of an open house landing page versus a listing landing page is this bottom widget here. For an open house, I'm going to add this at the very top. And let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to go in here to edit mode.
Oh.
So for an open house, so here's this widget here. I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to put it at the very top. I'm going to grab our lead form and I'm going to put it right here. Right? So I'm going to put that at the very top. I'm going to configure widgets. And again, it's the lead form that I want to change. Please sign in for the open house. That is the only difference between the listing landing page and an open house landing page, is that we put that in the front. So as people are coming in, you're like, here, register. You want to come in, you have to register. That's the only difference. Got it? All right, so we went over the listing presentation, the custom landing page for an open house versus custom landing page for just the listing. All right, so one more thing I want to show you, I'm going to save this as well, is you can clean up the URL. You see the URL has, this is the one I just created, has a bunch of gobbledygook back there. You can edit the URL. Again, people aren't typing this in, so it's not that important, but if you're a little bit OCD and you want things to look a little bit better, 5818. All right, so it doesn't allow spaces. Again, you can go as crazy as you want. North, Hermitage, Hermitage. I like, you know, just whatever is easily identified, create. And all we did was just clean that up a little bit.
Good little
Okay.
tip.
All right, so now, again, listing landing page, custom landing page. Now we want to promote our listing through designs, right? So in designs, let's go back to designs. Designs, here we go. Now I want to create some social posts. And the goal of this part is to create 3 or 4 social posts for one listing, highlighting a particular part of that property. So it could be the backyard, it could be the kitchen, it could be the view, it could be the living room space. Whatever are your wow images that you want to promote on social media, and social media could be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe Twitter. I don't remember off the top of my head, but Facebook is what I normally do. I'm being challenged to get on Instagram, but we'll see what that is. All right, so I'm gonna click on, so I'm gonna show you the finished result first. Let me see if I have one of those that I created. It was a social post, and where did I put that? I've got a lot of them in here. Okay, so let's say the first one is a just listing. right? So you can have one that says just listed. You can have one that says coming soon. So these are a bunch of them that you can have. And basically, what I want you to think about is what are some of the things that you want to promote as an image for your Facebook. So again, we're going to have to click on plus, and it's going to be social post. And if you're pulling information from a listing, you want to click on import photos text from a listing. Okay, so that's going to be important. So kind of like before we pick the listing to pick and choose from, here we're telling it in advance that we're going to want to tie a listing to this. So I'm going to click next. All right, so when you do that, it'll ask you to enter in that listing information, 5818 North Hermitage. Spell it wrong. All right, so I'm going to select this. Now it's, so let's think about what we want to do. One might be a just listed. Another one might be open house. Another one might be a coming soon. So that's 3 different social media posts that you can project out into the future. All right, so now we're going to click on listing. And we're going to do for sale. Well, let's do just listed, right? And we're going to do Facebook. Our focus is going to be on Facebook. So what you want to do is be somewhat consistent in your branding. So if you're using something that's got a red border on the left-hand side, you want to make sure the other images and other messages, you don't want to do one red, one gray, one like this, right? You want to have some consistency to your branding. So pick a style that you like. And I'm just going to pick this one for now. Just listed. And there's not going to be a lot of customizing we need to do to this. Obviously, it doesn't know that information just yet. So just listed. However, because we selected a property, now we can go to KWLS. And when you do that, it's going to have the pictures here. So what is the main photo I want to choose? Let's do, so we're going to highlight this picture here. And let's pick this one, right? So I'm just dragging and dropping, and it just replaced that picture. Okay, so that's the one I want to keep. Listing details, let's click on that next. You can copy and paste or click on something and highlight it. But if you match it on the left-hand side here, so here's 5818 North Hermitage. I just highlight this section here, and you see the circles, I call that the circle of life. Basically, that's replacing what's on one side into the other. So let's see if that works. I'm going to click on replace, and you see how it instantly replaced this. You still might want to customize it. Notice it doesn't include the state. I don't think it matters that it doesn't include the state. And same with bedroom, bathroom count and the price, right? So I'm going to click on price next. Here's price here, replace that. And notice it got rid of everything. So I'm going to do an undo. Hopefully it didn't start all the way from the beginning. Oh, looks like it undid everything that I did, probably because I didn't save anything. All right, so periodically you want to do file save. I'm gonna name this just all right, so I'm gonna name that. I'm gonna do file save. I'm gonna click on the photos here. And which photo was it that I used? I used this one, so I'm gonna do drag and drop, right? That it's in there. Now I'm going to take the property address. And again, I was in photos, now listing details. And I'm going to click on replace here. So change the address. So there's a couple ways you could do this as well. There's this little typewriter icon here. You can just click on that and you can say if you know the property information, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. I think I have it 1,600 square feet. Price of $650. And if you don't want to say built-in, you don't have to say built-in. Or 34 by 136 lot. Okay, save changes and just make sure it fits. If it doesn't fit, you can stretch things out. DBA name, click on logos. Put that in there, you could resize it. If you have your own logos, you can add that to the left-hand side as well. For now, I'm just looking to get something out there quick and dirty for you. All right, so now we're going to, let's do file save, just to make sure. And let's do download. We're going to save it as a JPEG, start download, and then we're going to click done. All right, so now we just created one image. All right, if I'm doing an open house, I'll go back to, we could actually take the same one, make a copy of it, and just change it from just listed. So here's the copy of it. Let's go to edit there. Okay, so if you wanted to keep the same thing here, now we're just going to change this from just listed to open house. Okay, we're going to save that. And maybe for the open house, I want a different image. I'm going to change this to open house. Let's do file save. Let's go to I'm not sure why it's not saving that right now. It should be going back to the other format. So I'm going to click done just to get out and see what's going on there. And it could be my internet is really slow. But what I want to show you is the scheduling piece. All right, so I'm going to go to open another session up here. Okay, bear with me one second. Bear with me. So you've got your things here that we're going to schedule next. And let's click on social. So let's say we were going to do our open house, just listed today, open house on Wednesday, and I don't know, just for sake of argument, a price reduction. Okay, so now we're going to go to campaigns. Okay, and here, let's draw a blank there. So social posts. So you want to make sure you'll see what accounts are connected to you. So we're going to social posts. We're going to create a new campaign. And again, it looks like we are Looks like my screen is stuck. I really wanted to show you guys this because this is the part that I think is invaluable information, because at a high level, what you can do is you've created your 3-4 designs that you want to schedule out. And so you could have done just listed and scheduled it out for this afternoon. On Wednesday, you could do a open house announcement, schedule that out for Wednesday. And on Friday, you could have done a third one that says, talks about the backyard and how big it is. So you could have scheduled all 3 of those at the same time. At the same time, I mean, like your focus, that's your time block to do a social post, scheduling social posts throughout the week. And so you're doing this for a half hour, and then your social media post has been scheduled for the week. Let's see if we can do that again. New campaign. Okay, we got a little bit further. Social post. All right. Now, something short. They want it short. Read the little checks here. New listing in Andersonville. I'm just going to try to go quickly through this. We're going to choose from design. We've already created the designs. And so this one's a just listed one. I'm going to pick that one. So keep in mind, imagine that we've created our 3-4 designs. Now, the default is the square version. You have to change it to wide. Right? You see that? Default was square. Square is more for Instagram. So if you're an Instagram person, you're going to keep it square. If you're Facebook, you're going to do wide and do crop image. And then you're going to see this is what the social media post is going to look like. So whatever I type here, new listing in Andersonville, is what's going to show up in the post. And you see it's going to go to my business page. This is important to know. It's an important distinction. It's going to your business page on Facebook, not your personal page. Now, from your business page, you could share it to your personal page, but the default is your business page, right? So it might be a 2-step process after that. All right, so again, whatever I have here, if I want to change this, just want to show you whatever I'm typing here is what's going to show up on the post. Okay, we've already got it branded. Schedule post. When do you want to schedule it? Here's the times. You open up a calendar. I want to schedule this for tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock a.m. Okay, where am I going to schedule it? Down here, Facebook, my business page. This one is also tied to my Twitter account, should I want to put it there, but I'm not doing it there. All right, then I click schedule post. When you do that, it will schedule this to go out tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Okay, so I'm just going to create a draft. I'm going to save this. I don't want it to schedule. All right. I'm going to go back to social post, create a new campaign, social post. And I'm going to now choose from designs again. And let's say this one's for the open house. Click on the open house. And again, it's going to come up with the square versus rectangle, right? Square versus rectangle, crop image, open house, 1 to 3 p.m. Right? You can see as I'm making changes here, it's showing up here. I'm going to schedule this post. I want this one to go out on Friday at 3 o'clock p.m. Okay, and then I would just click schedule post. So you see how you can save time by creating all your designs up front at the same time and then scheduling them out. Right? It does require time and effort to do this. But now, if your clients are friends of yours, they're going to see, oh my God, he's posting about our listing. I'm going to like this. I'm going to share this with people. Any questions on that? Those are the topics I wanted to get out to you today. The listing presentation, the custom landing page that can be both open house or just a landing page for the property. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. I want this to show up as a featured listing. So I'm going to create this as a draft. So I'm going to go to my consumer site. So by the way, yeah, when you do this, it will show you what's coming up, right? Here's your draft post and here's what's live coming soon. So you can kind of see what's going on. So now I'm going to go to my consumer site. This is my website, site and app settings, featured listings. So unfortunately, featured listings, you have to manually add in those properties. So I'm going to click on featured listing, and you can see featured office listing. And so let's select listings, 5818, 18. Right, we want to make sure our clients, 5818 North Hermitage, maybe it's because it was already out there. I'm going to click on all listings just in case. Six of 12. I'm wondering if it only allows me to do 6 at a time. That would be crappy. All right, let's cancel this and let's delete one of these just to see if that was the case. I'm going to delete this one here. Select listings. Maybe it only allowed me 6 at a time. 5818. All right. There's not figuring that out. Sometimes when you've got the spotlight on you, just things aren't showing up. So it shows that I've got 12 listings here, but it's not letting me go to page 2. Why is that? Let me try by MLS number. Now I got to know what that is. While I look that up, any questions about this? Any comments? Do you see yourself able to use this?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, you have questions, or yes, yes, you see yourself able to use this?
See myself able to use it.
All right. And so
Likewise.
notice it gave me the option to select my listings or office listings. So it didn't have to be my listing. So if you're doing an open house for someone else, for example, or now make sure you want to get permission from people. So I'm just copying the MLS number here to see if I can go back in there. Where was I? This one here. So I'm going to search by MLS ID number. All listings, my listings. Not sure what it is. All right, I'll figure it out. But that's what I wanted to go over with you guys. The listing presentation, custom landing page, open house landing page, scheduling of designs in Facebook so you have a better social media presence. I would recommend taking maybe a half hour out of your day to, not every day, just whenever you get a new listing or there's a listing you want to promote, especially if it's in your neighborhood. I've seen other people, other agents in our office promote other agents in our offices listings that are in their neighborhoods. As long as you get permission, you can do that. Okay, so then you could post that on your website as a featured listing. So the website, Joe Green, KW, and we go here. Actually, featured listing should be in the very bottom here. I'm wondering if featured listings is just acting up right now, because normally it would be in the bottom here. All right, I'll have to get back to you guys on that. All right, but this is your consumer landing page website that your clients would be logging into as well, potentially. And again, that's going to be a whole separate subject. All right, we good, everyone?
Very
I have a quick
good.
question, Joe, if that's okay.
Yeah,
It may be slightly off topic, but it's just regarding landing pages.
Sure.
Are you familiar, I know obviously you can go outside of the widget box into the content boxes and add like text. Are you familiar in a way that you can add text and then attach a link to it? Specifically, the application I'm looking for is to send something out that someone can click a link on that would go to a Calendly page so that they could schedule potentially like an appointment time with me.
Mm-hmm.
From the listing landing page?
Yeah, exactly. From a landing page.
So instead of contact me, you'd want it to specifically go out to Calendly?
Mm.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly. So like at one point there was a way I could do it, and then it seemed like they switched some of the stuff up. So under the contact box you can add like a text, and then
Yeah.
I'm just curious. And there's even a button when you put in the text that shows like that linking button that you would see sometimes in like an email or whatever, where you could click, like where you could attach a link to some text.
Yep.
But I'm just not sure how to actually make that connection, or if it's possible at all. And I was just curious if maybe you knew.
Can you do me a quick favor?
Sure.
I'm going to type my tech email in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, tech1047@kw.com.
Okay.
And just send me a quick message that says, can I add a Calendly link to your listing landing page? And I'll start investigating that.
Awesome.
I think there's a way to do it. No one's ever asked me for that. So I have embedded like a Matterport video, and I think it might be just a matter of taking that same embedded code. So you have to be a little bit tech savvy. But I think there's a way to do that.
Okay, that sounds good. Great. Thanks, Joe.
Great.
I will send you that email. Appreciate it.
Great question, though. Great question. How would you use that? You'd rather use that versus, because if they use the widget, it will add them into your command. Yeah.
So the application specifically is this: that I want to put out a Facebook advertisement essentially, but as opposed to necessarily just promoting like a specific listing, it's just to promote to try to drive listing traffic. And so kind of the plan is to obviously have some kind of entry video that then leads kind of beyond the wall, but Facebook already captures the information for me and puts it into my command. So what I'm trying to do at that point is just to encourage them to take the next step, is to click the link below this video content that I say I put in there in order to schedule like your no obligation 15-minute phone session. And so that way I can actually directly just have people, like a direct call to action, have people click on that link and immediately schedule a time for me to get on the phone. And then if that doesn't happen, what I'll be doing on the back end is adding them to a smart plan that will then encourage them to continue to click that link for that 15-minute phone call.
Got it. So logically, I think it's doable. I might just have to play around with it. Can you send me the link to your Calendly?
Yeah, sure. I'll put it in the email.
That way I can test it out and share it that way to you as well, just to see if it's working. Maybe I'll test it out, and if I can get it to work, I'll register myself for a time, and you can say, Joe, I see you.
All right, that sounds good. Thanks,
Okay.
Joe.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, guys. I gotta go.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks much.